Hello, welcome to the Two Chicks Homestead podcast. We are the two chicks. Yay!
Hi, I'm Nate.
And I'm Aaron, and we talk about homesteading and living on a small piece of land.
All right, everyone, welcome to episode 77. 78. All right, so it's November 15th. So it's been a little bit of a crazy weekend. Been running around like chickens with their heads cut off trying to get stuff done.
It was nice out this weekend.
Yep. So trapping season is upon us. Deer season is still there. So, but yeah, we got a whole bunch of stuff done today.
Yeah.
So got the garage cleaned out. We are doing the hog next weekend.
Mm-hmm.
So that's going to be kind of our stepping stone into today's idea.
Yep. So I want to talk about things that we do to kind of combat the grocery bill.
Mm-hmm.
It's happening everywhere. I know it's been happening for a long time, but I feel like I'm just now seeing it. Like,
yeah.
I feel like everybody was talking about the prices like a year ago, and I just kept going, I don't know, it doesn't seem that bad, and maybe we just didn't see it in our area. I don't know.
Right, and we don't buy a lot of stuff at the grocery store.
We don't. I mean, we buy enough.
Yeah, we buy the piddly stuff that the kids need to have for their dinners, and we get some stuff out.
Yeah.
That's the one thing I've noticed that have gone up a lot is dinner out.
Yeah.
But that's neither here nor there.
Yeah.
So.
But I feel like just in the past few months, I've just seen the prices, and it's like, has it always been that price, and I just didn't care?
Yeah.
Or am I really seeing that it's really gone up?
Mm-hmm.
I don't know.
Well, a lot of our shopping is done at Aldi and Meijer.
Yeah.
So those are kind of our two...
And Costco. I mean, we'll
Costco,
do Costco,
yeah.
but that's once in a while.
Right, and that's when we go load up on the big stuff the kids always need.
And flour and things like that.
Yeah.
But we're going to kind of talk about stuff that we are thankful that we've been doing and things that we just do to kind of help. And it's stuff that, I mean, we live in town. We live at the edge of town, but we are in town. So we do have rules that we need to follow. We may have broken some of those rules in the past, but...
Yeah, but that's the big plus about living where we're living right now is we have nobody behind us to look at our stuff and go, hey, wait a minute, why are you doing that?
Yeah.
So the biggest things that we do here that literally anybody can do is buy rabbits. And I'm talking, this is like apartment people can be doing this. Like, I wish we had rabbits when we're living in the apartment.
Yeah, it's definitely not something I would have even thought about.
Right. So you can get a trio of rabbits living in an apartment, butcher over your sink, and everything else goes in the garbage. Nobody would ever know you have rabbits that produce meat in an apartment.
Right.
You could have them in a garage, in a house, in an HOA. Nobody would ever see them. So, that's definitely one thing you guys could very easily do.
Yeah.
Now, I know the vast majority of the people in the community have land, and you are probably already doing this. So this is geared towards the people that don't have the land, that still live in apartments, HOAs, in town, yada, yada, yada. The second thing you guys could very easily do is go talk to a farmer and buy a pig.
Yeah, so I know we've talked about the hog in an episode and probably occasionally here and there, but it was just, she couldn't get locker space, right? And she posted up, if anybody wants to buy a hog, chilled and killed, I'm selling them. And it was like, right. Hey, you want to try this? And then we did it, and it's like, wait a minute.
Yeah.
This is actually a lot of food.
Right. So the hogs that we get are about 210 pounds on the hook. So I don't know what they are on the hoof, live and running around.
Yeah.
But they're 200 to 210 is usually the average that we get. And we end up with enough meat to get us through, I'd say probably 3/4 of the winter.
I still have probably 4 pounds of ground pork in the freezer, and we're getting it next weekend.
Right.
So, I mean, we're gonna hit it.
Right, we're doing good. I mean, we still have the bacon.
Yeah.
We still have
ribs. We don't make a lot of ribs, but we still keep them just because that's one time.
Mm-hmm.
But tonight we made pork cheek orange noodles.
Yeah.
It was just kind of a pantry meal, but it was delicious.
Yeah, absolutely. I mean, I definitely enjoyed it. Mm-hmm. But I know as an apartment person, sneaking a hog into your apartment is going to be a little hard.
Right. You would maybe need to find someone with a garage to at least process it out.
Right.
But, I mean, the first time we did it, we lost a whole leg. Mm-hmm. It took us forever. We did it in September, thinking it'd be cooler, and it was like 110. But we looked up a YouTube video and went, okay, and we cut. Yeah. We sat out there and we tried to figure out, the parts that we wanted.
Yeah.
We discovered that we don't use a lot of some of the things we did the first time. Right. So we don't do pork chops. We don't do ham. Right.
Most of it goes in the grinder. Yeah. And I understand. We keep the loin for the roast. Every once in a while. But pretty much everything else. Yes, the picnic roast goes in the grinder. Yes, the hams go in the grinder.
It's what we use. Mm-hmm. We're not asking a trained butcher to grind up a very expensive piece of pork.
Right.
We bought the whole hog, so we can do whatever we want.
Right. So, I mean, when all said and done, we probably end up with it's 200. You probably end up with 100 to 125 in meat.
I usually have about 50 pounds of ground.
Yeah, and then we have the roasts and the loin and 15 to 20 pounds of bacon, and I mean, there's a lot of stuff. Mm-hmm. So you're looking $3 a pound for the hog. If you call it, we get 100 pounds of meat off of the hog. We pay roughly $300 for the hog. So it's $3 a pound.
Yeah.
What's bacon when you go buy it at the store? $10, $12?
Right. I mean, when you think about it, that makes it seem like my pound of ground pork is expensive. Mm-hmm. But the bacon we're getting and the pork belly bites that we make, it all evens out.
Exactly. So, we end up 50, 60 pounds of ground. All the loins we keep for roasts. So we usually quarter those up. And then the legs go in. We always get the cheek meat. Mm-hmm. We always... So I think you did we saved the skin for chicharrones.
Yeah, once my dad made them, and then that's kind of been it. But all the lard, too. Mm-hmm. I mean, I save all the lard and render that down and do the leaf lard, which I don't use a lot of it. I just don't think about it. I don't know why I always render it and process it, but then I forget about it.
Yeah, we do that in the bacon, or when we do eggs. We use the lard when we do eggs.
Yeah, but not the leaf lard. But the rendered lard, the cooking lard, that's all I use for sautéing and cooking. And
it's delicious.
I know. Yeah. But it's because we have it. I mean, I still use oils, even though I know it's... I don't know. I know it's terrible for you, I guess, but...
Yeah, I mean, we use vegetable oil and olive oil. Mm-hmm. It is what it is. There are some things we make that the girls really want that we try and make homemade stuff. Mm-hmm. One of them is the spreadable butter.
Yeah, so I used to buy butter, but it was in a container, and it was spreadable. It was from Aldi. I can't remember what it's actually called. But our little one loves bread and butter. And just, bagels with butter and the cinnamon sugar on it and whatever. So I was buying butter sticks, which have gotten really expensive, and this other butter that's gotten really expensive. And I saw something somewhere online or Facebook that they took 2 sticks of butter, just let them at room temperature, and add, I think it was a 1/4 cup of oil, and you just mix it.
Yeah.
And you put it back in the fridge, and it's not perfect, but it's spreadable. Mm-hmm. And it's saving a lot of money because I can just make it whenever, because I always have butter.
Yeah, we always have butter. I mean, we go buy, 10 pounds of butter?
Yeah.
At a shot, just to make sure we have some. We put some in the freezer down here. Mm-hmm. And you make that stuff, and it saves you, you figure a stick of butter is $1, and you figure that whole tub is $10?
No, I'd say they're probably...
$5?
They used to be $4.
Okay, so maybe, they're probably $8 now. $8 to $10 now.
Yeah, I don't know if it's that much, but it's one of those things where it's one less thing that I have to add to my grocery list, because I can just see I'm running out and just set 2 sticks of butter out overnight, and in the morning they're ready to go.
Yeah. And it helps that our picky eater is getting a little less picky.
Yeah.
She is, with all things said, getting a little less picky.
Yeah.
So, we can at least sneak some stuff in there.
Yeah.
Be nice if we could sneak the homemade Eggo waffles in there. But
yeah, that was another thing, was they were on this huge waffle thing. Every morning they were having 5 million waffles, and it was like, oh my God, this is a lot. And so I'm like, shoot, I know how to make waffles. I have a Belgian waffle maker. I'm going to buy this mini Eggo-sized waffle maker. Well, I made the mix that came with the machine, and it called for 2 cups of milk, and it made 8 waffles. I'm like, this is not going to work. So I found a sourdough one, and I thought it was delicious. She doesn't like the waffles. There's
going to be a point where I put my foot down and say, suck it up.
So I made a bunch anyway, because I'm like, I'm just going to keep going. I have the mix ready, and so they're in the freezer. So I'm going to try and take them out and put them in the toaster and see if maybe it's just, I don't know, maybe they just felt weird.
Yeah.
I don't know.
That the toaster does it?
Maybe. I don't know. So I thought they were delicious, so hopefully she likes them, because
we'll find out.
That might be all we have.
The toaster, we use that thing all the time. It's one of those 4-position ones that you've had since...
It's been a while.
Before time. It's old. It works great.
Yeah.
So, but yeah, it's trying to find the things that your kids love.
Yeah, and because you don't want to be like, well, tough luck. Because you want to find things that they like. I mean, nobody wants to deal with, their kid being upset all the time. Sometimes it's,
Sometimes you have to put your foot down.
But, I want to find something that she likes. I feel like between you and the older one, you guys like everything.
Yeah, I'll eat just about anything.
When I make something homemade and my little one says she likes it, it's like, holy shit, I've made it. Like, this is gold.
Yeah. I mean, she's gotten better. She at least will try some stuff.
Yeah.
She may not like it, but she'll at least try it.
Yeah.
So, I know one of the other things you do, the flavored cream cheese.
Oh, yeah. So I buy a big thing of cream cheese from Costco. Mm-hmm. And for some reason, I guess just to have, I had bought a bunch of frozen fruit. Mm-hmm. And then I freeze-dried it. Mm-hmm. And then I put it in the blender. Well, not the blender either, but the KitchenAid thing. Yeah. You know what I'm trying to say. I can't think of it. Food processor, yes.
Yeah.
And I mixed it with the cream cheese. Mm-hmm. And it was delicious.
Yeah.
And it was like we had strawberry, banana, and blueberry, I think. Mm-hmm. But I mean, those little containers are outrageous, and you get like $4 or $5 bagels out of them.
Yeah, exactly.
It takes a lot of flavoring. I actually have to redo one I have in there and add more of the fruit to it because it doesn't taste like much.
Yeah.
But I mean, it's lasted us. We've had that probably almost a year. I've had the fruit in the vacuumed jars that I just keep opening and using them for whatever. I put them on my Cheerios the other day.
Yeah.
It was delicious.
I mean, how much more expensive is flavored Cheerios? Like the Cheerios that have the stuff already in them.
Right,
or
yeah.
or the cornflakes or whatever that come with the strawberries.
Yeah, the red berries or something.
Yeah.
Oh, I used to love those. But, yeah, I mean, they're expensive. Cereal
Exactly.
is another thing that's just so expensive. But you don't always want that flavor, so it's kind of nice to be, have the choice.
Yeah, you can buy the plain one and add your own stuff to it.
Right, and it's delicious.
So, I mean, I know not everybody's going to go running out and spend $3,500 on a freeze dryer.
Right.
But that has made our life a lot easier.
Yeah, I mean, I haven't yet because when we processed our meat birds, I slow cooked like half of them and then shredded them and freeze dried that chicken. And it's so nice to go in and be like, I want to make soup and have the chicken just be ready. You just add it to the soup and it's, going to be ready.
It rehydrates itself and tastes just fine.
But if you can't do meat birds, I'm going to go to Costco next week and I'm probably going to get 4 chickens that they have that are $4 or whatever.
$5, yeah.
And shred those and freeze dry them and then have them for whatever.
Yeah, so I mean, that's going to be, 20 pounds of meat hanging out, which is not bad for essentially $20, so $1 a pound.
Yeah.
So, I mean, you got to run it through the freeze dryer, which is going to take a little bit of money, but
it's going to be running something.
Right. It's either running candy, chicken, or your comfrey.
Yeah, and I mean, I do that with the vegetables too. Well, we don't run it as much. We run it, when we need to because we have the freezer space. But it's kind of nice to know that if the power ever went out, then some of this stuff is okay. But frozen bags of vegetables, when they're on sale, I buy a whole bunch to freeze dry it.
Right.
Same with the cheese cubes. I mean, it's just nice little snacks.
Right. And if anybody ever told me we'd end up with 4 freezers in this house, I'd tell you you're crazy.
I know, yeah.
But yes, we have 4 freezers here.
Potentially 4.
Yes, we have 3
we have 2. Well, we have 2 running.
Yes.
Right now, and then 2 refrigerators. Well, the freezer upstairs, I guess.
Yeah, and we have the chest freezer down here that's shut off right now.
Right.
That's actually going to get started back up next week. And all the boxed food that we have that we get the girls, like the dinosaur nuggets and waffles and corn dogs and stuff like that the kids like, are going to go in that one.
Yeah.
Because it's easier just to milk crate inside of it and call it a day.
Yeah.
And then the outside stuff is going to be for the hog and for the deer and just that stuff.
Yep.
So another thing to look at is go hunting. I mean, do what you can. You go geese hunting. Get some, you tag out on geese for the day and you take the breast and that's good food.
It is. And I mean, one breast is a meal. So you get, I don't know how many we had. 8?
Yeah, give or take.
I mean, it's
5 and 8.
It's very filling. I mean, you can't use it for everything, but I think there's only been one meal that I tried and it wasn't as good, but we would still eat it if we had to.
Yeah. Oh, yeah. It was really good in stroganoff.
It's perfect for stroganoff.
Yeah. I mean,
and even the stir fry that I made last time, it was delicious.
Yeah. So there's that ability, because, I mean, anybody in an apartment or an HOA can get away with going hunting and getting some goose at home, or you find a buddy that has a garage and you go deer hunting.
Right.
So, hang the deer up, you're going to end up with, 75 to 100 pounds worth of deer meat off of that thing. That's a ton. I mean, I know not every year you're going to get a deer, but it's at least something.
Yeah. Well, and everything, it's kind of nice because everything we do is a supplement. Like, we have the hog, but we don't only eat pork because we have the rabbits, but we don't only eat those 2 because
we have the chickens.
We have the chickens and hunting and venison and just kind of a nice variety of...
And there's still times we will go buy the hot dogs and sausages and kielbasa and stuff like that and make meals out of that.
And sometimes we just want a steak.
Yes. But I don't want to deal with butchering a
a cow.
Yeah, a cow, because I don't have the room nor the time.
Right. And that's, I mean, I am all about supporting our local farmers, but a quarter cow, that's a lot of money.
Mm-hmm. Yeah. Yeah, quarter cow for us 10 years ago was $800.
Mm-hmm. Now it's, I don't know, 15?
I have no idea.
I have no idea.
I don't know. We haven't bought it.
Yeah.
Hogs are probably $1,000 done to butchers. I don't know because we have never done it.
Yeah.
So we just do the work ourselves.
Mm-hmm.
So, I mean, you price out that, see what it would cost you to go get a hog done by a butcher and put in the freezer, and then realize we're paying $300.
Yeah.
And doing all that work ourselves.
Which is a lot of work. By the end of the day, we're tired.
Oh, yeah.
But it's a year's worth of meals.
Yep. We can get it done on a Saturday, maybe into a Sunday, and then I have, a full day to a half a day somewhere around there to lick my wounds and go be sore somewhere. So, but I mean, it's the best thing we've done.
Yeah.
So.
And if you don't have the freezer space, you can can it.
Right.
If you don't know how to can, you start with an electric canner, which if you can use an Instant Pot, it's basically the same idea.
Mm-hmm.
You just have to, find the times and stuff for everything that you do. But doing meat in a canner is so easy.
Yeah.
You just put it in the jar.
Yeah.
And raw can it.
And we'll cube up venison and throw it in there. Cube up some corn and some green beans. Or, get corn and green beans in another can. And then you'll just make dinner one night.
Yeah, it's just venison stew.
Right. And that's all you dump in one, stir it together, and warm it up.
Mm-hmm. But there's a lot of things that you can can, like meals, that are just, it's work to do it, but it's kind of nice that one night that you don't want to cook.
Right. So if you're looking for an instant or an electric canner, they're either the Carry or the Nesco brand. Mm-hmm. They change depending on who has what in stock. They are the exact same. They're just rebranded different stuff. Mm-hmm. I don't remember the size, but you can get 4 quarts.
You get 4 quarts and 5 pints. So they're not huge, but sometimes you don't need a huge canner.
Right.
It's just like for small batches.
Yep. So, I mean, you cube up a roast and dump it in there. And
I mean, I've bought meat on sale, like pork chops and chicken, and I just can it. And I add it to whatever.
Yeah, you did the chicken legs, I think, or chicken wings or something.
Yeah, that was kind of a pain. I wouldn't do the raw chicken legs again. It's just... It was a pain. They're gross looking in the can.
Oh, yeah. I mean,
but
chicken flat out is not the prettiest canned food.
I would probably not do how I did it before, where I left the skin on and I just put the chicken legs in the jars.
Okay.
Because they just get kind of slimy and... So I would do it a different way. I have done chicken, but I would just cut it up.
Yeah. Yeah, I'd much rather run that through the freeze dryer, to be honest, but you make do with what you do.
Yeah, you'd have to try it to know what you don't like and what doesn't work.
Right. I mean, there's been a couple of times our neighbor, needed a little bit of help with stuff, and we've gone over there and we've handed them 4 or 5 jars of stuff out of the pantry.
Yeah.
Venison,
Well, that's nice too. I mean, he'll get a deer and he only wants certain parts of it, and I come in and strip it out.
Right.
And that's what I can.
Mm-hmm. And then usually he ends up with it later.
He ends up with some of it later, yeah.
So, I mean, it's give some and get some. Mm-hmm. So, what else we got?
So freezing meals. So we do... I don't do a lot of, and actually it is something I want to try and do, is make a bunch of meals and then freeze them like we did when I was pregnant.
Yeah, pregnant with the second one.
Yeah, that was awesome. I loved having that. But I don't do it a lot because it's a lot of work. Mm-hmm. And now it's like, we went shopping that one time and it was like, oh my God, we just spent all that money. Well, now it's probably like 3 times as much.
Yeah.
But I'll do... a lot of breakfast, like breakfast burrito. I call them breakfast burritos, but they don't have any like actual burrito stuff in them. But it's just eggs and sausage and cheese. And
that is a breakfast burrito.
Well, yeah, but it doesn't have salsa and peppers in it or anything. I don't know.
We
It's
have
wrap.
hot sauce. We can figure that out.
It's a breakfast wrap.
Yeah, there you go.
Yeah. So, but yeah, I mean, I'll make those, and that's what I'll have for breakfast a lot, because by the time the kids have decided what they want, and it's 5 million waffles later, or who knows what, it's like, I just want to eat something.
Mm-hmm. Or you make them the waffles and they don't like the something that day.
Yeah.
I mean, that's inevitable.
Yeah. But then I bought on sale these French fries at the local store. And I'm like, oh, we'll get French fries with our hot dogs. Well, they ended up being like these teeny tiny little pieces. And I was like, I know what I can use these for. And it'll be for... Now they're in our next set of breakfast burritos.
Yep.
I did a bunch of Egg McMuffins that are in there now with little sausages and
we've always done those if we have people showing up. Like we did that for the event for Tim.
Yeah, it was nice because you just throw them. You can throw them all in the oven, and then they're all warm. I kept them in the tin foil and just popped them in the oven and
brought them all down, and they're all nice and melty and warm. And
that was awesome.
Yeah, that worked out perfect for that morning. And I need to eat more of that stuff. You know, get something to go breakfast wise, grab it, throw it in the car, make it when I get to work, and as I'm getting started for the day, just not mow that down. And
it's nice because it's just one-handed food.
Exactly. So,
but another thing was coffee syrup. I used to be a coffee creamer snob.
Well, it was the Cold Stone Creamery.
Cold Stone Creamery sweet cream.
Yes.
That's all I wanted. And if I went somewhere like my parents that didn't have that one, it'd be like, ugh, I can't drink it with milk and sugar. So that was it. I mean, we used to drink that, God,
I'd go to the store and buy 5 of them.
Oh, God.
Like 5 of the big ones.
Yeah. And then... I don't know what even made us decide. Maybe our mindset changed, and it was like, there's a better...
I think it was when they hit about $8 a piece.
Yeah, it was expensive. And it was like, okay, we're buying this really good holler roast coffee, and we're putting this garbage in it. Mm-hmm. So I think I slowly started switching creamer, and I would make... I can't remember exactly what it was, but I would use not carnation milk. It was, I just lost it.
Oh, the condensed milk.
Condensed milk, yeah. And, or sweetened condensed milk. And then I would add, I don't even know what I would do. Maybe vanilla.
Yeah.
And just kind of mix it. And we used that for a long time. And then I don't know. We discovered that we liked, somewhere we used syrups.
Yeah, the skinny... No, I think it was... We heard it from Amanda Willis.
Maybe she started talking about it. And then I just started buying a bunch of different flavors, and we discovered which ones we liked. And you just need a little bit.
Yeah, like a cap full.
Like tiny bit, because they are super sweet. But they're keto. Not that we're keto, but it's still kind of nice to not have, the extra sugar where we can get rid of it.
Right. And I've even backed off to the point where I'm just drinking black now.
Yeah.
Black coffee.
Yeah. I can't. Unless I'm camping or something.
Yeah. Unless it's really good coffee, that's when, like Nicole's is the only stuff you can drink black.
Yeah. And I would drink that black at her place because I wasn't going to use the powdered creamer. So I can do that there. And if I'm busy and I'm talking and not just sitting there going, oh, I just want to enjoy a cup of coffee.
Yeah.
So we use the syrups and milk. And then today I tried the egg coffee, which is an egg yolk in like 3 tablespoons of milk mixed. And then I used my frother and mixed that even more, so it got like really foamy. And I added a little bit of sweetener, the coffee, and then added this in. And oh my God, it was like thick creamer. It was so good. I took a whiff of it and a sip, and it reminded me of the tin cappuccinos, the International Delights or something.
Oh, yeah.
That's exactly what it tasted like.
Okay.
And it was like, oh my God, I'm 14 again. Feeling so fancy because I'm making my cappuccino. It was delicious.
Yeah.
And we're using eggs too. Mm-hmm. We've got 5 million eggs.
Yeah.
That we're trying to use.
Hey, what do we have out there now? 15 chickens?
14 chickens.
14? Somewhere around there.
We get between 8 and 10 eggs a day.
That's a lot.
So we'll have to pay attention to egg prices because maybe I could start selling some. Even though some of the new ones, they're so small that I don't know if I can even charge full price for a
It is what it is. But it still costs the same amount to get the egg out of the chicken.
I know, but... So yeah, that was super exciting. I haven't been drinking coffee because I've been making my chai.
Yes. Okay, so you need to talk about this.
So, I used to shop at Trader Joe's. Mm-hmm. Like, we used to live close to a Trader Joe's. Now we don't. But I used to buy it was probably 6-ounce containers of chai mix. And if you've ever made your own chai, it calls for a lot. Like, you need a lot of the powder to actually have it taste good. So you'd maybe get 2 mugs out of a Trader Joe's container, maybe 3 if you skimped a little bit. Mm-hmm. So it was a lot. And they were $7. I mean, they used to be like $3.50. Yeah. So now they were, I think I bought them on Amazon just recently because I was craving it and I wasn't about to drive, 40 minutes to go get some at the local Trader Joe's. And it was like, I wonder if I could make my own. So I started slowly buying all the stuff. The loose instant tea. The unsweetened, plain instant black caffeinated tea. I couldn't find anywhere. It wasn't on Amazon. It was listed there, but you couldn't buy it. Mm-hmm. None of the stores around here had it. And I'm like, that's like the main part.
Yeah, you need that.
Yeah. So I finally posted in the Telegram chat. Mike from Wheaton was like, I just saw that at the store. Yeah. So he was coming out to the Tim event, and so he brought me two so I could at least make it and see if I, like it. So I got that. I finally found ground cardamom, because my mom gave me cardamom pods. And she's like, you just need to, snap out the inside. Well, that would have taken me forever. So I'm like, I think I just need to buy new stuff. But that stuff is expensive. Yeah. But you only use like a teaspoon and an eighth of a teaspoon it calls for this mix. But so you use vanilla, non-dairy creamer, regular non-dairy creamer, like the powder stuff. Mm-hmm. And then it calls for milk powder. But I had been freeze drying raw milk when we first started getting it, and it was a lot. Like, for some reason, we weren't drinking a lot of milk, and I'd be getting a container every week, so I'd freeze dry it. So I've got like 8 gallons of freeze dried raw milk, so I use that. And then it's other cloves and stuff like that. But it makes almost 2 quarts of powder in one batch, and it's delicious. If you like chai, oh my god, it is so good. And I am obsessed. So I haven't even been drinking coffee like for
a couple months. Yeah, it's been at least a month. Yeah,
because all I do is make this chai.
Yeah,
but it's amazing.
So
and I can't believe all those years how much money I spent on Trader Joe's chai mix and never once thought about making it myself.
Well, and I think a lot of that is now the internet is so easy to get to. Yeah. Where you can find this stuff.
Well, and I think if you also are not in that mindset of trying to find ways to make stuff yourself, you don't think about it. You go to the store and you buy it.
Right.
and
Right.
that it works at the time, and that's just what you do. But when you start making stuff at home, you keep thinking about, what else can I make at home? Non-bread. And,
Yeah.
the non-Indian bread.
Mm-hmm.
We make a tikka masala out of rabbit usually. And I wanted to get non-bread because you can't have Indian food without the bread.
Mm-hmm.
And I usually buy the packages from Aldi, and they were like outrageous.
Yeah, I don't know why it all of a sudden jumped.
But it's like,
is there a holiday coming around? Could that be it?
at the time, I don't know, it was a little while ago.
Yeah.
I have no idea. But I'm like, shoot, I just made tortillas not that long ago. Non-bread is not that different. It can't be that different. And they were delicious. You wouldn't have even known they weren't from the store.
I loved them.
Yeah.
We didn't make enough.
Yeah, we never make enough. But it's just, once you start doing it, I think it gets easier and not nearly as overwhelming.
Mm-hmm. Absolutely.
The one thing I haven't gotten is bagels. I can't make bagels very well.
You've tried it a couple of times. But I mean, you go to Costco, you get the big roll of bagels.
I know. Sometimes it's not worth it. You kind of have to pick what you're able to do, and sometimes in the phase I'm in right now, I'm buying bagels because it's too much to not have them turn out or have no one like them, and then it's chicken food. I guess it's not going to waste, but still.
Right. Well, and half of it is we save in other aspects of our grocery bill to be able to go buy the stuff that we really want. So I mean, you save money on the cream cheese. Well, that's enough money saved to go buy the bagels. So it's it's
well, and that's why when the kids are out of town, we buy steaks. We eat a lot of steak usually when the kids are out of town, but that's okay because for who knows, for however long before that, we've been eating at home with the stuff that we've already have here.
Right. And let's get real. The little one is too picky to eat steak.
Yeah.
And the older one still needs help cutting steak up. So
it's just our thing. Like we just grill and we just eat. We got a big plate full of steak. I mean, we don't really go crazy with sides.
Right.
So it's just steak, but
because usually we're just tired and we're ready to relax and get a peaceful night. So you just slap a couple steaks on the grill and call it a day.
Yeah.
So we've done that many times.
Yep.
So
the last thing I have is, it's not in every area, but the Flash Food app.
Yes.
It's been kind of not too exciting lately, but it only works with Meijer stores here.
Mm-hmm.
And it's like, even my mom, out west doesn't even have it. Like, it's not anywhere. So you just need to see if you even have it in your area, but it will tell you, it'll show you all the food they have that's kind of like you need to go buy it today. Mm-hmm. Like, you buy it on the app and then you go, and it's just this freezer that you wouldn't even know was there unless you were there looking for it. Mm-hmm. And you go through and you pick out what you want, and then you show the customer service, and they kind of make sure that, okay, yes, you actually did buy this stuff. But every day is different. I have gotten ground beef, like pounds and pounds and pounds of ground beef for a fraction of the price.
The time you did that, I think you got 30 pounds of ground beef.
Yeah, it was
like 50 cents a pound.
Yeah, and it's like you need to either cook it or do something with it like that day. Like it's not gonna kill you. It's not bad. Mm-hmm. It's just hasn't sold, and now they need it out.
Right. And that's where the freeze dryer came into play, because I remember that night. I came home and all of a sudden there's 30 pounds of ground beef sitting on the island getting cooked up, and it's right in the freeze dryer.
Yeah.
So,
and I think I still have some. I mean, that was a long time ago, but and you got to get it right away. Mm-hmm. I mean, lately it's just been like boxes of like squash, and it's like the last thing I need is more squash right now.
Yeah,
so
we've had enough of that.
The Meijer store is far enough away that it's like I only really look if I'm already going, or sometimes it'll be like, well, let's just see if it's. a significant amount, then maybe
Right.
it's worth the drive. But I'm not going there to get, like, almost brown bananas or something.
Mm-hmm. Yeah. And then I know one of the other things you use a lot is Instacart.
I do use Instacart a lot.
There is a reason for that. Yes, it's $100 a year. I get that. Have you ever tried to drag 2 kids to the store?
Right. And with that, you get the free shipping, you get discounts, you get other things discounted because of that. And I only ever use it at Aldi. I have never used it at any other store.
Yeah.
So it's one of those things where it's kind of nice to do, like, the big shopping, trips through that, because I can walk around and look at all the stuff I have in my pantry, and I still overbuy.
Yeah.
Like, I have 3 bottles now of light, I just forgot what it's called, like, not maple syrup, but, like, syrup for, like, pecan pie, whatever.
Oh, yeah, yeah, I know what you're talking
whatever
about.
that syrup is. And it's like...
Yeah, corn syrup.
Yes, like corn syrup. And it's like, how did I not see this when I was in here looking? But now I have enough to make lots of pies.
Yeah.
But it's just kind of nice to be able to plan and meal plan. And that saves a ton of money.
Right. And I remember, so years ago we did pea pod living in the apartment.
Yeah.
Okay. That alone paid for itself after the first couple of months. Because you would go through, meal plan all the entire meals, look and see what we had in the pantry, and you were buying for 2-3 weeks, and you were making those meals on a rotation, where instead of going to the store going, I think this sounds good, I'm going to try this, and a week or 2 later you're throwing half the shit out because it's expired.
Yeah.
Or you forget about it because you bought 10 pounds of ground beef and it's sitting in the back of the fridge and you just forgot about it.
Right.
And you're throwing it out.
Yeah. And I will say, that's been probably 10 years now that I used Peapod. It was still the best.
Oh, yeah.
I loved Peapod.
Yeah. And we had Peapod at the house in Bolingbrook. So that was
7 years ago.
6-7 years ago, yeah.
And even then, I don't think we had it up until the end because they kind of fell apart. Like, I don't know what happened to Peapod, but maybe they weren't in the area anymore.
They weren't in the area out here because I know we looked coming out here.
But I feel like we didn't have it up until we moved here. Like, I wasn't using it.
Yeah, you were using it all the time out there.
Maybe when we first moved in.
I could have sworn it was towards the end too, but either way, I mean, you had a Peapod truck pull up in this shitty neighborhood that we were living in. Because yes, it was not the greatest neighborhood in the world, and the food's getting delivered because I don't want to go shopping. Right,
and I used to do it. Yeah, when we were both working. Because who wants to go grocery shopping?
And also, when you had the newborn, we were doing it because you didn't want to take the newborn and the 3-year-old to the store.
Yeah.
So.
Yeah. But yeah, I mean, it's basically the same as Instacart, but Peapod was like its own store. Like, you shopped the Peapod website.
I wonder if that's the thing Amazon bought.
I don't know.
Because Amazon's got some grocery thing now.
Yeah, the fresh stores or something. Yeah, I don't know.
I'm curious if that's it. Maybe they bought a part in that.
Yeah.
But, yeah, it's just those couple things. If you can sit down and meal plan and go that route, that's going to save a ton of money.
Yeah. Well, it's like Amy Dingman on her last episode talked about, don't go grocery shopping hungry. And what have I done the past 2 times I've gone grocery shopping? I was starving. Came home with cookies.
Those cookies were good. They're gone now.
But it was like, if I wasn't hungry, I probably wouldn't have bought them.
Yeah.
So it's kind of nice to be eating and shopping on Instacart and then not go crazy.
Right. And there's inevitable we always forget stuff.
Yeah.
So that's me running to Jewel or running to Fresh Market on the way home from
Which pretty soon we'll have a Dollar General now.
I'm not sure how I feel about that. I mean, it's...
Yeah, I know. But...
I would hate to lose the grocery store in town to it.
Yeah.
But the grocery store in town needs to get their shit together.
Yeah, I mean, they have meat. We'll buy meat there if we have to.
Yeah.
But yeah, the vegetables are all gross. Mm-hmm. And it's just, nobody buys it, so it goes bad.
Right. Because
it goes bad, so nobody buys it.
Right. But, and you're in a farming town that has all this stuff.
Yeah.
So, yeah, I mean, I totally
But it's like the
get
apples, you know, it's like I would buy apples there, but they're all mushy and gross.
Yeah. Absolutely. So, we got anything else?
I think that was it.
All right. Well, I think we'll end it there. We do appreciate you guys listening. I know it's a little bit longer we have been going. So,
but it's what's going on.
Yep, it's good information. We got to get it out to you. It popped in our head, so there it is.
Yeah.
And we will catch you guys next time.
See you on the homestead, where something is always growing, eating, or cooking.